Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. So with that in mind, let's jump right in to this week's episode of Becoming Something.
What's up, podcast world? It's your boy JP in the podcast studio with Nate.
What's up, JP? How you doing?
What's up, Nathaniel?
Hey, I'm
Nathan.
just doing great. It's me and you again.
Yeah.
How it should be. I've been begging for this for years.
Yeah.
I think we finally figured it out.
What's up with Kathy?
I mean, there was a vacation to the Bahamas.
I'm sick.
There was the sickness.
She came back and was like, I want to be on the podcast. Hey, listen, if you will let me back on the podcast, I'll be there early. So
listen to this. I'm in a group text with her. Someone texted her yesterday saying, "Hey, are you sick?" And she goes, "Yeah, I was fasting all day yesterday, and then I had a milkshake, and so I think that's what made me sick." I'm like, "Shout out, you're fasting. That's why you're sick. And thanks for telling us, you Pharisee. I'm sick of your pharisaical mindset."
Pharisaical. And how do you have a milkshake if you're fasting?
I know. Yeah, we need to ask her.
Dude, what in the world?
We need to ask her.
What in the world?
We also need to ask her if she had fun at the Mavs game.
She wasn't at the Mavs game.
She wasn't at the Mavs game?
No,
you and Cuban dapped up, man.
Yeah, that's my dog. What's up, Mark? I know you. He's like a big BSO listener.
He is, Mark Cuban.
What's up with Dale putting him on blast with the tummy pick, man? That's not okay. Mark's my boy. Shark Tank. Shark Tank's
no
my
longer.
favorite.
He's gone.
Shark Tank is my favorite show on television.
And mine's SpongeBob.
Yes, and that is the least surprising thing you've ever said to me. And give us a SpongeBob impression.
How does he talk? Hey, I'm going to the Krusty Krab.
That was actually great.
Yeah, thank you. I practiced
nailed that.
SpongeBob.
You crushed
If this
that.
ministry thing doesn't work out, I'm going to move to Vegas and impersonate SpongeBob.
That's amazing. If you had to go to Vegas today to earn a living. Oh no.
Sports gambling.
Sports betting.
Just I'll put it all on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl every year.
Oh gosh, you would be a really rich.
I'd be so rich.
Wow, man.
Maybe I bet I could figure out how to spin plates or something.
What's your hidden talent? You got to be in a talent show in 5 minutes. What are you doing?
I played the tuba in middle school and high
you
school.
don't have a tuba. There's no tuba.
Oh,
here.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can name the first 4 books of the New Testament.
That's not funny.
I don't have any tricks.
Oh man, nothing.
I can spin my phone on my finger like this.
That's probably what you would do. Huh?
Yeah,
like a pizza.
Like a pizza.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, well,
this should be the Instagram clip for this week.
That's really
Check
cool.
out this.
Yeah. Well, we're out of things to talk about. Coley, I'm nervous up here.
Should we bring her on?
Let's just call her and see what she's doing. Can we FaceTime? Is it possible to FaceTime Kathy? And hopefully we're not catching her in the middle of a vomit session. But
she's gonna be on the beach or something.
See if we can get her on here. This is Coley, ladies and gentlemen. If you see his giant hands.
Oh yes, finger.
What's that? What's the thumbs up there?
Why did that happen?
That's fascinating. Kathy, answer the phone.
What's up?
You're
Wow.
not sick.
Yeah, look at that.
I thought
Look
you
at
were
that.
sick.
I am very sick. The wonders of makeup, you guys.
So
How's it
prove to us that you're sick.
This is what I'm drinking.
Wow. I'm so sorry.
She's drinking
I
Gatorade.
should have never questioned you.
And I have crackers.
Oh, she's.
Oh.
What?
I thought you were. Oh, you're pregnant?
I'm pregnant?
Is that.
That's the saltines are like what?
You just told the world? Is that what's going on?
No,
now?
I am not pregnant.
Oh.
That would be news to me.
Man, I'm kind of rattled right now.
Is that the news?
No, that's not. Let's not start rumors, okay? Especially really scary ones.
What kind of what kind of pregnant are you? What kind of sick are you?
I don't know if we want to talk about that on the air. That's all I have to say.
No, I already told everyone that you said you're sick because you were fasting.
Okay, you didn't have to share that part.
What does that even mean?
She's fasting, but she had a milkshake.
Shut up. I have a lactose intolerance, I think. And
So you
Joel
had a
wanted to go get
milkshake.
milkshakes on a date with me. I wasn't thinking. I had fasted that day, but I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I think
Kathy, I don't think you did fast that day if you had a milkshake. Like I just,
well, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't
these are the kinds of things that the elders of the church have to make rulings on. And I'm just going to go rogue right now and say not fast. Doesn't count if you have a milkshake.
The other day I gave my
broke.
entire salary to the church, but I kept all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's confusing.
Here's what I want to talk about.
This is her becoming something with Kathy Davidson.
By all means.
It's called empathy and compassion.
Yep.
I tell you guys, hey, I'm so sick. I'm sorry. I can't make podcast today. JP's response was, can't get sick. That's all he said. He didn't check in on me. He never said, are you feeling okay? He's like, stay away. I can't get sick.
No. That's fair. That's fair.
True.
I was in a meeting.
I
was in a meeting and you guys were trying to decide if you were coming in or not. And I was planning, I was on the other line sending flowers to your house to make sure you were well cared for.
You started crying.
Yep.
In the meeting, everyone's like, "What's going on?"
Yes, and then just to make a quick ruling, because you guys, leaders remove confusion, clarity is kindness. I was just like, hey, we have a policy around here that if someone is contagious, that they don't come up to the office, and I don't want you to be flagged by HR.
So I had COVID 8 times in 2020. Never shut down.
Yeah.
Kept breathing on each other.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Guys, 2024. Do y'all feel like you ever thought you'd live to see the day?
No, that feels like a really big number, I'll be honest.
Aren't there supposed to be flying cars and such?
Totally.
Yeah.
And like hoverboards? Where's the hoverboard from Back to the Future?
I don't know. All I know
Don't
is
they have hoverboards these days?
No, the what they call hoverboards are lame things with two wheels.
Right.
On the ground.
They're not even hoverboards.
They're not hovering at all.
All I know is
lame.
2024.
But we do have self-driving cars.
Maybe.
Sure.
Well, actually, your car kind of does sometimes.
Oh, really? You're going to tell the whole world?
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks for those emails that I'm going to be getting. It's the Soccer Mom Model X, or Model Y, rather, not the X. It's the cheap one. Lesser expensive. I'm not saying it's cheap. Lesser expensive.
Anything under $100,000 for JP is like, man, that's cheap.
You're ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Man. So what are y'all's hopes and dreams for 2024? Y'all are both big New Year's people, and I'm not.
What does that mean, big New Year's people?
I don't.
Well, New Year's resolution people. You give stuff up. Kathy writes an entire book about what she wants to do, and I'm like, man, I'm straight chilling.
Just because you've never fasted doesn't mean I'm a big New Year's person.
That's right. Yeah. Fast. Jesus never said to fast for a year.
That's true. But he did say to fast.
Yeah.
When are you going to start doing what Jesus said to do?
I'm just saying. Do what he did.
Kathy, we should get a tour of the house.
No.
Coley,
show us the mansion.
Will Kathy be on the YouTube? Like, can people see her there?
Show us what that BSO money did for your life, girl.
I can only show you this part because I was sick yesterday, so the house looks like a freaking tornado went off because Matt was single parenting 4 kids. So.
When you're sick, you just throw stuff everywhere.
Well, I don't, but my kids do, and I'm not falling behind.
When Kathy's sick, she's just pulling stuff off the walls, just flipping over
Flowers
the couch.
just all over the place.
She's like,
yeah,
get
the
this
flowers
out of here.
I knocked them over.
Get this out of here. Pulling the cups out of the cabinets, just throwing them.
Oh my gosh, y'all are so gross. Let's talk about New Year's. I love this episode. I'm glad y'all are talking about it.
New
Nate, why don't you make
Year's.
resolutions?
What?
Nate, why don't you make resolutions? Why
Because
don't you make goals?
I can't keep them.
And that's a reason never to try.
Yeah, why? I mean, a year's just a long time.
You know, Rebecca Lyons says, what is it? She says rhythms over resolutions.
Oh, that's
you
good.
can, if you can create healthy rhythms, that's better than resolutions. And so, it's a great time to be resolved toward the spiritual disciplines. The prayer cards, we've talked about those before.
That's a great idea.
Oh, hey, Kathy, you got to get the kids. Like, what in the world is happening? Okay, I can't work like this.
This ain't like.
How do you mute this thing?
What are
I
those?
don't know.
What is going on over there? Is it discipline time? It's just like.
Do you have dinosaurs in your house?
No, she just is so chatty. Y'all were supposed to call at 10:30 when she was napping, and you were late. So.
Who is that?
Yeah, what's her name, JP?
Grace June.
There you go. I'm sorry, I'll be feeding her.
Man.
Yeah, is there a way for me to mute this thing?
Wait, you're gonna feed her on the podcast?
Well, like when I'm not talking.
Okay. Wait, hold on. What's about to happen? We can let you go. It's fine, man.
No, we're doing good.
No,
I
it's
wanna
cool.
talk
It's
about
cool.
this.
No, it's
I'm here.
chill.
She's good.
It's chill. We'll let you go. Go be a mom. That's priorities.
No.
Just
I actually have a question for you, JP.
okay. We lost Nate though. He's gone.
Okay, you do something that I really like. You pick a word for the year.
Yeah.
And I've done that the past 2 years, and I really see God do a lot in that year. Like this year, my word was prayer, and I feel like I've learned a ton. The year before that was presence. I learned a ton about God's presence. And you said at the beginning of the year, if anyone could guess your word,
Yep.
you would give them a prize. Did anyone ever guess it?
Yeah.
Oh,
What was it?
Yeah. It was encouragement.
Oh, that's good.
So it was it was accountability for me because I was like, hey, if you can guess,
Oh, that's great.
if I'm so encouraging, you know, oh, your word must be encouragement.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah.
This is gonna be the hardest one to
This
edit.
is what in the world?
Should I just really get off? Is she too loud? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Feels like
How should Christians view New Year's?
what's so funny? Why are you laughing?
There's just this kid in the background.
That's not just a kid.
It's like
That's Kathy's child.
It's like we're just some random podcast.
We're like, hey. No
Just
big
have
deal.
millions of listeners.
It's just this episode is basically just a phone call. Just like, hey, just listening to our phone call with Kathy and her children.
Y'all were supposed to call me earlier. I don't know what to do. Okay. This is stressful.
Man.
So,
I'll
Kathy,
mute it when I'm not talking.
why do you get so excited about New Year's?
Because I love a fresh start. Even just like the scripture that says his mercies are new every morning. I really think there's something about the turning of a calendar year where you're like, okay, what does God have for me this year? And I am not really good at reflecting. And so I like the time in between Christmas and New Year's to think about this past year and then to make goals and dreams for the next year. And even just to ask God what he has, because if I don't take that time, I won't the rest of the year. So I think it's really important that we take the time to do it. And it doesn't mean that I'm I know what's going to happen the next year and that every single one of my goals is going to come true or, work out. But I like that it helps me think about, hey, where is my life at right now? And where do I think it needs to be? And how can I make that gap smaller?
What's the resolution?
I don't actually have one yet, but I am thinking about it.
What do you think she needs to change about herself?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, I will say that I'm not going to answer that question, but I will say I think if you have resolutions, you need accountability around them.
Yeah, that's
good. If you're really going to be resolved to do something and to create a real change, and so if it's hey, I'm going to go to the gym, then it's well, what happens if you don't go to the gym?
Yeah.
And if in April you give up, you stop going to the gym, what do you have to do? And sometimes I think that accountability really helps us to see through. I mean, in full transparency, I gave up sugar this year. And towards the end of the year, I had something, and it was oh, I can. I have an exception if it's we're celebrating, And I feel we got to my birthday, and I was oh, okay, we're celebrating. I can have sugar, and then I forgot. I literally forgot that I gave it up.
Yeah.
I would eat like a dessert without even thinking. And so it's like, I mean, I need
Still celebrating your birthday.
yeah, but I need like accountability. One time I gave up sugar for a year the last time, and if I ate it, I had to pay someone $100.
Yeah, I remember that.
And like that year, I made it through.
Totally.
You know? And so it's like I think accountability is helpful. But we talked about prayer cards earlier. Like that really would present that as an option to you guys, just to get an index card. And every January I'll write down the top, like the themes, you know, so like each of my children, my marriage, the church, different employees, when I'm praying for the staff, the elders, and just specific prayer requests. And so the top of the index card, just like a file folder label, it has the prayer request on it. And then beneath it, it has specifically like, here's what I'm praying for that. So if the top one, if it says Monica, right? And then it's like, here are the things I'm praying for Monica. And then here's a verse I'm praying for Monica. And then I'll write down a Bible verse. Or if it's my marriage, it's like, here's what I'm praying. So the top, it says marriage. And then here's what I'm praying for my marriage. And then there's a scripture that informs what I'm praying for my marriage. And so those prayer cards have been like total game changer for me. Another thing that I do that you can incorporate at the beginning of the year is I start every day, I just get a journal. And every day I start just by writing 5 things down I'm thankful for. So just like, and it's a great exercise because some days they just like the 5 fall onto the page, and other days I'll like sit there and I'll stare at the paper and I'm like, all right, what am I thankful for? What am I thankful for? And I can't move on to the next thing until I write down 5 things I'm thankful for. Incorporating Bible reading. So like Bible reading plan, BibleReadingPlan.org is a great Bible reading plan every day. Or if you want to use, you know, the Bible recap with Terry Lee Cobble is a great Bible reading plan. But to start like, hey, this is the year I'm really going to read the Bible every day. I'm going to touch the scriptures every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how my New Year's resolutions have shifted. Like I used to come up with a list of like physical goals and relational goals and house cleaning goals and all this stuff. And that felt really overwhelming. But the past 2 years, I've just implemented a new spiritual discipline into each year. And that has felt a lot more doable and attainable. And so, yeah, I think next year I might do the Bible recap again because I have loved doing that before. But I would highly encourage like picking one thing and letting it be like a spiritual discipline that's going to grow you closer to God rather than like all these goals that maybe aren't what God has for you. You know, like I want to be a great cook and I want to work out all the time and I want to like have my house so organized, and like those things are important, but maybe that's not like as important as me just incorporating 30 extra minutes of prayer in each day or something like that. So yeah, that's a good thought.
Something else you can do is like go into your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar, whatever one you use for meetings or just like to plan your day, and go in the future and go like 3 months at a time. So go 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months or 11 months, and just write your future self a note and like check in and say, hey, how are you doing at reading the scriptures? Like, hey, I sense that this is really going to be a challenging time for you to keep this up. So this is yourself in January, just saying, hey, keep going. And so sometimes that's helpful.
Yeah, that's great. Why has writing down 5 things you're grateful for, why has that helped you?
Man, just like starts the day with gratitude. And so like to literally just create those brain pathways. You can't be anxious and grateful at the same time. Like, I mean, science has proven that whenever you're grateful, you can't be anxious. Whenever you're anxious, you can't be grateful. And so just to start the day with a foundation of gratitude and to reflect on God's goodness, it drives me to prayer. So the thing that I'm grateful for, I can tell God, thank you for. And so it's like a prayerful exercise as well. And it just starts the day right. So
and then what about the prayer cards? Like why do those help you pray?
I think I struggle with paying attention in prayer.
Yeah,
and it's just easy for my mind to wander. And so to stay in that headspace of this is I just flip from card to card to card. And some days I really like let my mind wander on the topic and just stay in prayer. And like others days I'm moving faster, and so I really will just go card to card to card to card.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I don't remember who said this, but I think community has to play a huge role. And I think it was you. Yeah. In whatever New Year's resolution you have, make sure to tell somebody.
Something else, like a good journal exercise, and you can invite community into it and your small group into it, is just the what do I want to keep doing? What do I want to stop doing? What do I want to start doing? Like that's a great journal exercise at the beginning of the year. It's just like, okay, what transformation do I want to see in my own life? What do I want to keep doing? What do I want to stop doing? What do I want to start doing? And the keep doing, it may be just like, hey, these are the healthy exercises that are already there. I'm already reading the scriptures. I'm already working out. I'm already taking care of myself in this way. I want to keep my job. I feel like that allows me to be generous and provide. What do I want to stop doing? It's like, okay, you know what? I like my language or this habit or nicotine or vaping or there's some habit that's creeped into my life that I want to stop. And then what do I want to start doing? And maybe I'm not working out. I want to start working out. And so then putting accountability around those, like sharing those with that. Once you've journaled that out, share that with the group and say, all right, now what's a plan? Like how can I put some action steps around this goal, if you will, to make sure that I stay with it?
So
a really wonderful thing to do also would be to invite your community into speaking into creating those goals or those resolutions. Like to ask them, hey, where are some potential blind spots? Like where is an area that you think I need to grow? I feel like that would be hard to ask and really enlightening. Because you don't just want to like create goals that you see other people do or compare yourself on social media, be like, oh, they're reading the Bible in a year, I need to do that. It's like, no, ask the people who know you best, like, where's an area you need to grow? And then don't forget to ask God, of course, and invite him into the process because he might have something entirely different for you. So yeah, I think it's really important to ask those questions to yourself, but then also to other people and to God too.
Yeah.
she's just saying that because I'm in her life group and she just wants to tell me.
Yeah.
I would love. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, see, I know it. I know it.
You guys talk amongst yourself because I got to text Monica back something really quick. She just texted me.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I'm serious.
Okay,
Love to pull out your
great.
plan.
Kathy, what's God's role in helping you stop doing something you don't want to stop doing? Like, let's say it's like, man, I want
Ooh.
to stop drinking or stop using nicotine or whatever. Like, what is that relationship with God? How does that help you stop?
I think you have to start with this awareness, like you can do nothing apart from God. Like without God, it is impossible for you to stop something that you need to stop. Like that is the power of the Holy Spirit who comes in and gives us the power to say no. And that's why I think it's really important not always to focus on like not doing and stopping these things that we know we need to stop, but to put in more time with Jesus, because the more time we spend with God, then the easier it is to say no to the things that are not of God.
Yeah.
So you cannot do it apart from it. I think that's like why the 12-step program is so helpful, or programs like Region and all of that, is because their like main bottom line is like you cannot do this on your own. You have to have God's help. So it's impossible without it.
And some of you, like you're waking up today and you know you drank too much last night. You partied. You hung out with the wrong people last night. And so like, hey, today's a new leaf. His mercies are new every day. And it's like the scripture said, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. And so this may be the year where you're really replacing those old friends with friends that are going to push you closer to God. If you're not a member of a church, join a church. Like this is the year you join a church. Like do it. Like Sunday, show up to church, find out what their membership process is, and join a church. Get in a small group if you're not in a small group. Like these are simple things that you can do in your life that will create major changes in your life. And so just like, man, make sure you do those things.
Yeah.
If you don't give, like if you currently don't give, practice monthly giving to your local body. Like this is the year to start. Okay. I mean, start at 10%, and which is going to feel enormous, but go in and just say, all right, if you make $1,000 a month, give $100 to your church. And you start to do that and just incorporate those kinds of things into your life.
Would you do that? Would you do that or say that if you're not on a church? Like, you're saying that because you're on a church staff. Like,
No,
if you,
I'm not. No, not at all. And vast majority of the people that are hearing this don't go to this church. No, I did that as not on a church staff, and it changed my life. And like I was the guy that I thought I was generous because I would always pick up the meal, and the bill would come. I'm like, oh, I got it, or I'd pay the bar tab as a pagan. And it's like no, but I wasn't generous. Like I wasn't giving to a church that I was consuming from every single week. And so when I started to, and it felt enormous. It felt like such a big deal. I mean, I don't want to sound like a prosperity preacher at all, but like the Lord crept into those gaps and provided in supernatural ways. It was amazing.
yeah. I mean, I just go ahead, Kathy.
I was going to say, like, when JP was talking a minute ago, it just reminded me, like, my, like, chief sin, whatever, is almost procrastination. Like I think, oh, I'll do that next year. I'll start sharing my faith more next season, or in this next season, I'll really get serious about being generous, or reading my Bible, or fill in the blank with X, Y, and Z. And I just want to remind us all that like our days are numbered, and we don't know how many there are. So why wait? We really need to remind ourselves that we're not even guaranteed 2024. We're not even guaranteed the whole year. So we might as well take that next step of obedience in following Jesus, because we do not want to miss what he has for us. So
Kathy, I'm concerned about that little girl that was in that
Well,
high chair. Like,
I just left her in there, and she literally has a pouch just all over her outfit.
Go get to that girl. Go tend to her. She needs a mom.
Do you ever forget all your kids' names with how many of them you have?
How many kids do you have?
I don't know, but she's literally covered in food right now. I'm sorry.
What's up, G-Dog?
I'm a great mom. I quit my job for her, so it's fine.
Wow.
Anyways, this is good. This is a good reminder for me to spend the next little bit praying and thinking about resolutions and goals. And Nate, since you're in my life group, if there's a blind spot, you tell me what it is. Maybe.
That's a lot.
Oh, man.
He was just telling me what it is before we called you, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
There was a few blind spots he was talking about.
Man, we have like meal trains and stuff. We had a baby. Kathy never brought over any meal.
Man,
and
that's tough.
Just still holding it against her.
Do you have any... Kathy, do you do any impressions?
Not really.
What does that mean? You do one?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm very good at it. I don't think I'm known for my impression.
What's the impression that you do? I do Sean Connery.
She
Hello,
does.
This is Sean Connery. Sean Connery. So
she does that. Brooke Legderwood.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me hear it. Like what?
I might need to go. Actually, she's like covered in food. Yeah, I don't have any. I'll work on it. Maybe that's my resolution for 2024.
My resolution is to go a Sunday without falling asleep in a sermon.
Okay. All right, Kathy, we'll let you go. Have a good day. Bye. Bye, Grace.
Bye.
Peace out.
Peace out. See y'all.
Bye. Thanks for being available. She's the worst.
Man, I will say that life seems harder than my life.
Oh, wow, guys.
I know. I've really come around.
Wow. Look at this growth. Shout out to the ladies.
Stay-at-home moms have a
I thought you said it was just a long vacation.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
Wow. Right. He really has come around. He has grown up. Guys, go ahead.
I was just going to say, make sure you've got your goals aren't just like, man, I want to look better or whatever.
It's like the only thing that changes if God, if you're able to keep all your resolutions, and the only thing that changes is you're just a better version of you. It's like, that's not cool. I mean, like, have resolutions that help you make the world a better place.
Yeah, right.
Prepare a place for Jesus to come back to.
Amazing.
So, do not conform any longer to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Guys, Happy New Year. Thanks for jumping in on Becoming Something, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. To find out more, visit becomingsomething.com.